Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we decode the sometimes confusing world of corporate filings. Today we're diving into a report from Gaucho Group Holdings. Let's see if their financial situation is as good as a glass of fine Argentinian wine or if it's gone sour. But before we get started, if you find value in understanding corporate filings without the confusing jargon, be sure to subscribe. Also, we have a Discord community linked in the description below where you can discuss this and many other companies. The main point of this report is to give stockholders, that is, people who own shares in the company, an update. It's about what's happening with the economy in Argentina, where the company does a lot of business, and also about the company's Chapter 11 reorganization. That's like a financial restructuring to try and get the company back on solid ground. They first talked about this in more detail in a report from March. This update is included as Exhibit 99.1, which means it's attached to the report for everyone to read. But the company also says something important. This information isn't officially filed in the same way as other financial reports, so you shouldn't rely on it as if it were a guaranteed fact. The company is warning anyone thinking of buying or selling their stock that it's a really risky move right now. Because they're going through this Chapter 11 process, the stock price might not have anything to do with what the company is actually worth or what stockholders might get in the end. They're saying, be very careful if you're thinking about investing. The company is using what are called forward-looking statements. That means they're making predictions about the future. They use words like anticipates, believes, and X, but they're also saying that these predictions might not come true. A lot of things could change, especially because of the Chapter 11 situation. Some of the things they're talking about are the Chapter 11 reorganization itself, raising money while in Chapter 11, and selling off some of their assets. They also talk about how all of this could affect their stock price and their business in general. They are basically saying, don't rely too much on what we're saying about the future, because it could all change. If you want to know more about the risks, the company says you should read their official filings with the SEC, like their annual report and quarterly reports. Now let's move on to that Exhibit 99.1, the stockholder update. The update starts with a message to the stockholders. It talks about big changes in Argentina's economy that are making things tough for businesses there, including Gaucho Group. They mention a new president and some big economic changes happening in the country. Argentina is going through a lot of changes. There's a new president who's trying to fix the economy. He's made some big decisions like devaluing the currency, which means it's worth less than it used to be. He's also trying to cut government spending and get rid of some rules that businesses have to follow. The goal is to stop inflation, which is when prices go up too quickly. These changes are making it hard for Gaucho Group to do business in Argentina. The company mentions things like not being able to predict costs and prices and not being able to get money out of the country. The company is still working through its Chapter 11 reorganization. They're talking to different groups of people, like the people they owe money to try and come up with a plan. The goal is to get the company back on its feet financially. They're trying to find ways to keep the business running while they're going through this process. They're looking at things like cutting costs and selling off some assets, meaning things they own, to raise money. The update ends with the company thanking stockholders for their support. They say they're working hard to get through this difficult time and come out stronger on the other side. Now, let's take a step back and look at what all of this means for Gaucho Group Holdings. First, the economic situation in Argentina is a major challenge. The company is facing a lot of uncertainty. Because of the changes happening there, it's hard for them to plan for the future when they don't know what costs and prices will be or whether they'll be able to get their money out of the country. Second, the Chapter 11 reorganization is a sign that the company is in serious financial trouble. They're trying to restructure their debts and cut costs, but it's not clear whether they'll be able to turn things around. The company is warning investors that their stock is very risky right now, which is never a good sign. On the other hand, the company is trying to take action to address these challenges. They're working on a plan to get out of Chapter 11 and they're looking at ways to cut costs and raise money. If they can successfully restructure their debts and improve their financial situation, they might be able to survive and even thrive in the long run. It's also worth noting that Gaucho Group is not alone in facing these challenges. Many businesses in Argentina are struggling with the economic changes happening there. If the new president's policies are successful, it could create a more stable and predictable business environment for everyone. Overall, Gaucho Group Holdings is facing a lot of challenges right now. The economic situation in Argentina and the Chapter 11 reorganization are both major risks. However, the company is taking action to address these challenges, and there's a chance they could turn things around. It is still very early to give an opinion, but this would require a lot of analysis of the Argentinian economy. So what do you think about Gaucho Group's situation? Do you think they'll be able to survive the economic challenges in Argentina and successfully reorganize their finances? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this analysis helpful, please give us a like and subscribe for more corporate deep dives. And don't forget to join our Discord community in the description for more discussions. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.